I'm late. What's going on, guys? Sorry about that. Let me turn this music down. Let's get this going. What's going on, my friends? How the hell are you anyways? What a great day. Bitcoin's dropping a bit. A little bit of an opportunity to do some DCAing, guys. I'm going to tell you what I think is happening and why I think it's happening. Look at that red candle. Oof. Oof. Look at that red candle. I had to catch my breath. I was running. All right. Let's get into it, guys. How the hell are you? Look at that red candle. You going to buy some crypto today or not? What's the matter for you, huh? What's the matter for you? Ramona says open mic at 9:30 tonight over on the Patreon, guys. We will be starting out with Ed and with some LFG and Pico ideas. For anyone interested in those two awesome coins, please tap that like. Absolutely. So there will be a discussion about Pico and LFG tonight over on the open mic. Gamma says, there she is. LFG and Pico to the moon, baby. Big Kev, what's happening, buddy? Good morning, Rob and Crypto Fam. Even when the market is red, our Patreon group is still printing money. Join the new gems and projects today. Don't let the cup of coffee get in your way. Yes, exactly. Too many people want to save that money on a price of a cup of coffee, and they're missing tens of thousands of dollars in profit as a result. Check it out today, guys. Links in the chats, in the pinned comments. It's in the description. All right, look at that red candle, guys. I'm going to be buying some Bitcoin today. I think I'm going to buy some Bitcoin today. 115,459. Just a hair above support here. Now, if you watched the video I made this morning, I said I wouldn't be surprised to see us come down and test support here. And we're so close. We're so close. And I also said, on a bigger scale here, if we were to drop down even halfway to 114K, which is this orange line here, it would be very, very good because, as I showed this morning, we have an inverse head and shoulders trying to play out here. So that would be very good. It would validate, for the most part, this inverse head and shoulders. And just so you know, the breakout on the inverse head and shoulders, the target is about $142,000. So we definitely want this inverse head and shoulders to play out. I got to start getting rid of some of these lines to clean things up a little bit here. So yeah, we want to, we wouldn't mind seeing that drop. I'm just trying to slowly remove some of this stuff here. So yeah, we're watching for the inverse head and shoulders here, guys. Inverse head and shoulders watch. Let's get it. What do we got? H. Barbarina in the house. What's up, my guy? What's up, my dude? Good to see you. JD Beats. Give your thoughts on the stock ASUR. Let me have a looky-loo. Let me have a looky-loo. Oh, oops. Hang on a second. There we go. Yes, okay. I will have a look at that stock. Just give me a second here, though, because there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Have a look. Let me just move this stuff out of the way here. If you'll look, what just happened here, guys? What just happened? Well, let me tell you what just happened. The Russell has officially broken the previous cycle high back here. The Russell has broken out yesterday, and it has also closed the daily candle above the previous high and is now retesting it as support. This is massive, guys, okay? I'm going to show you something else real quick before I check that stock out, because not only did the Russell do that, but the exact same day, the total 2 did the same thing and broke past the previous cycle high. Actually, sorry, total 3. The total 3 is what it was. So the total 3 and the Russell have both broken past the previous cycle high on the same day, which was yesterday, closed above, and are now retesting the old high as support. The last time this happened was 3 years ago, before altcoin season kicked off. Just so you know, right? So just one more metric to show you, we are about to take off, my friends. So if that doesn't get you excited, guys, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. I don't even know what to tell you. All right, let me check out this stock for you. ASUR. Azure Software. I mean, already on the daily time frame here. Let me zoom out a little bit and have a look at what's going on. Well, you're definitely in a relevant area, but I don't know if it's going to hold where it is now, man. I think you'll probably come down around $6.83. That's where I think you're probably looking at kind of testing some support right around there. Pretty relevant level in the past. You've fallen below your 200 and your 50 here. Yeah, I think you've got a little bit more downside to go, man. I think $6.90 support. That's where I would probably do a little DCAing if you're interested in buying the stock. That's where that would be my entry point. So, Strawberry Dragon brings salsa and chips to go with Pico and LFG. Absolutely, amen to that. All right, let's keep the chat going. What else do we have? Oh, let me get back up to the top here. All right, Paul, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. William, it's dumping to give us an opportunity to DCA. There actually is a reason that it's kind of dumping, and we're going to get into it in a little bit, guys. Beebs, my dude, watch it on both channels. I appreciate you. I see you, Quentin. What's up, buddy? Cody says, smash the like, fam. Absolutely. Beebs, Rob, I remember you mentioning content creators will start talking about projects in certain narratives. Today, House of Crypto talked about DPIN projects, Peak, Aether, and of course, Honey. Did he talk about Peak and Honey? Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Two of our favorite gems. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yoshi, thank you so much, man. Oh, Yoshi, nice. I just noticed the picture and put it together. Modern day Robin Hood. Always grateful for what you do, Rob. Let's go, LFG and Pico. Hey, absolutely, man. Those projects are going to soar, in my opinion, man. They are going to soar. We're in it to win it, guys. We're in it to win it. I'm going to have to check out House of Crypto later. He is one of the channels I do like watching. So, Shannon, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. We got 187 people here. We have 52 likes. Let's get up to 100 likes, guys. We can do that. That should be fairly simple for us. Right. What else do we have? WZZ. Let's go Pico and LFG to the top. Blessings, John, my friend. Super fantastic. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Over the top says, let's go, Rob. Excited for Pico's future. Yeah, Pico seems to be gaining a lot of traction over the last 24 hours. I've really noticed that. It's really starting to overtake, so to speak, right? So yeah. But I mean, it's to be expected, right? So that's absolutely fantastic. Where were we here? Bulbasaur in the house. J Money, what's happening, man? Good to see you, buddy. Lewis, hey Rob, I want to check out your Patreon, $35. Yeah, sometimes there's glitches and you just have to contact support about it and ask them, because I have no control over that. But I've heard issues like that in the past, and then people just contact support and then they fix it. So yeah, they're pretty good. Their support's pretty good. Big C, what's up, man? LFG and Pico, hell yeah. Is your second tier Patreon 35 or 50? Depends where you are. It's 35 American. If you're in Canada or something, it might be saying it in Canadian dollars to you. That's why it might be saying like 50. So that could be an issue. I don't know, but it's only 35 American. The King of all kings, Jesus H. Christ. Yes, Jesus is King. Absolutely, he is. Oh, House, grab some more Zebek and Jasmine. When do you think would be a good time to de-stake my XCN? Well, see, XCN is kind of a tricky little question because there's no lockup period, right? So I don't know. I'd probably still keep, me personally, I would keep it staked longer if it was me, because I would unstake it when we start to actually see altcoin season officially start to take off. That's when I would unstake it, right? Blair says LFGG. Let's go. OG, you need to level up on that intro music, bro. And it's just generic music that StreamYard gives us, right? I don't get to choose. I only have a selection of like 6 types of music, right? You're late, which made me on time. There you go. There you go. I guess I owe 50 push-ups. Pico contract address for everyone curious? Absolutely. Is that a school bell? Be the next slide. Finally had a chance to scoop a boat of Swift. Nice. There you go. Swift's a great pickup right now. Ditto. Moonwell. Amen to that. I got a little clip for Moonwell in this stream we're going to have a look at. So, Quicksilver, Pico helped me turn 1K into 10K. It's like Christmas. Yeah. Actually, Gary ended up retiring off of our projects. So, big things popping, little things stopping. Ditto. You the man too, man. You the man too. You're the greatest, Rob. Thank you so much. Ari, what's going on? DH in the house. What's happening? Eat Moke. Can't even read that name. Come on. What are your thoughts on Nosana? I never heard of it, man. I've never heard of it. Gustav, happy Friday, Rob. Made a lot of money on Pico so far. So grateful. Hey, absolutely. Pico is knocking them dead, man. Hugo, Rob is Morpheus. Helping us escape the Matrix. If you don't believe by now, there's something wrong with you. You're Dula Oblongata. Absolutely. LFG and Pico. I'm all in. Let's go. Beebs, October and October, not Rectober. Let's find out, man. Let's find out. Encourage somebody. Wish I got in at the bottom. JD Beats. They partnered with Zebek, so thinking maybe it would be a good buy. Oh, interesting. I would wait, though. I would wait for them to come down here first to $6.90. I think you're going to see that support level tested. Benjamin, I'm going to grab some syrup on this dip. She's been consolidating a month. Shot you a DM about... Yeah, you know what? My DMs have absolutely exploded. It's absurd. Like, I had like 35 DMs this morning. I replied to all of them. And then as soon as I refreshed it, I had 32 more DMs. It's absurd, right? The game, what's up, man? It's the witching hour. That's why it's dumping. There you go. These options expiring are pointless. Yes, that is it. Options expiring. William, it's good to hear the enthusiasm back in your voice this morning. Reports Morning's report, you sounded like a little down. No, it's only positive vibes from now on. Any negative people, negative comments, all that whining and complaining, all that stuff just gets muted and ignored from now on. No more. I'm not letting anybody bring down my mood anymore. No more negativity. Gain says, any excuse to stop the rally momentum? Yeah, you're not wrong. As soon as it pumps hard, yeah, get to the chopper. Do it. Ray, what's up? He says, hit the likes, guys. LFG and Pico. Pico's so cute. Absolutely. Gamma. YouTube watcher. Hey, Rob, when is the altcoin Jasmine pump season over? If BTC dumps to 114K, how low will Jazz? Altcoins have already kind of dumped. They've already kind of dumped. I don't really see them going much lower than they are right now. So, yeah. Ty, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, we're all caught up in the chat, guys. Let's get into the news. Let's see what's going on around the space. Okay. We got some stuff to talk about this morning, my friends. Quick shout out, as always, guys. Decent biometric wallet. Use our link down below. Get yourself a great deal. Not your keys, not your coins. Get a 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallet today. You can swap, take profits, and even stake your crypto right on your Decent wallet. Check it out today, guys. Okay, so we got a couple of things. Oh, yeah, I had to show this. Now, this was yesterday. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I never had the chance to show it yesterday, but there's nothing like watching Gary Gensler sweat on TV, right? Listen to them tear Gary Gensler to shreds on national television for about 56 seconds. This is hilarious.
They are reversing a lot of what you did. And how are you feeling about what they're doing now?
So I'm very proud of what we accomplished.
And the crypto community is ecstatic not to have you there anymore and to have him there. Looking back on it, I mean, do you think that was the right call?
Yes, I think.
Because look, now we have this like burgeoning industry and there's so much more innovation and leadership in the U.S.
And a lot more capital coming into it.
There may be more capital in terms of the interest in the public. The public is interested. I get that. But for investors.
You think this is dangerous, what they're doing?
Put aside Bitcoin. But most of the other tokens are not tied to any fundamentals. Like Warren Buffett would say, what are the goods? What are the revenues? What are they selling? And so forth.
They are reversing a lot.
Tore him to shreds. Most of the community's happy you're gone. Right to his face. Oh, man, it stings. It stings, Gary. Oh, man. That was good. Gary deserves every bit of it. All right, we got this little Moonwell clip as well, guys. Very, very bullish on Moonwell. Apps like Moonwell and its AI agent Mamo will service millions of retail users, not just the whales. Guys, I am mega bullish on Moonwell. And by the way, we did close out the live stream, the Patreon live stream with Max and Rule last night, talking about how we're going to start diving deeper into Moonwell for the Patreon live streams as well.
And our thesis is that just being there early, having the only solution that is like safe enough that can be used from Coinbase Prime, from cold storage, that these TradFi players, they won't really care about the $100 billion on mainnet, the DeFi whales, the Ethereum OGs like me. We're much more focused on servicing the millions of retail users that are going to come in through decentralized apps like, the Base app that just launched. These are people that are smartphone users in Latin America and Africa and parts of Asia, right? These people are not necessarily going to come in through like the Coinbase retail app because they can't even get a Coinbase account, right? But we're the DeFi version of Coinbase, if you will, or the on-chain version where you're self-custodial, bring your own wallet, whatever wallet you use. And whether it's Coinbase wallet or MetaMask or what have you, or Ledger, or, you pick your poison, Gnosis Safe, even Fireblocks if you're an institutional custodian, or your, Anchorage, Coinbase, et cetera. So we want to serve all those customers, and we see that target market is much larger, but it's something that takes years to build, and we're much more long-term.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize Moonwell's working with Visa, same thing as Zbeck working with MasterCard, my friends, but on a different level. We are going to be diving deeper and deeper into the Moonwell ecosystem and what they're doing moving forward, guys. Extremely bullish on Moonwell. Gary Gensler getting roasted, yes. It shows just how close Gary was. Exactly. Carlos, besides Miria, Nadix, Zebek, and Gari, what would you buy for best ROI as of right now? Right now, XDB, Moonwell, Cookie, Tars AI, Clearpool, all will bring, in my opinion, phenomenal returns. XPR as well. Can't forget XPR. Ramona says, check out the website for LFG and Pico. They are off on an adventure. Posting the link over on the Patreon. Another reason to join. There you go, guys. Website is officially up. Thanks to Ramona. Make sure everybody gives Ramona a big round of applause. She has been working very hard behind the scenes, my friends. So, absolutely. Okay, what else do we have? Let's keep it going. A little bit of a reminder here, whether you know or you don't know. The Simon & Simon Spaces for Uphold and Zebek talking about the NBA, NHL partnership. That Spaces is going to take place on the 26th, so next week. So make sure you guys are there for that. I will be covering it in a video as well. You're not going to want to miss it, guys. Okay, what else do we have? Let's keep it rolling here, guys. So why did Bitcoin dump? Crypto news, 4.3 billion in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP options to expire ahead of triple witching. Crypto news today, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP traders brace for a $4.3 billion options expiry. The large expiry could cause a short-term volatility in the crypto spaces. So that is why, most likely, you're seeing some volatility to the downside today. Do not be surprised to see a recovery this evening, guys. So if you were going to DCA, not financial advice, but I would probably do it this morning or this early afternoon, as opposed to waiting till later tonight, because there's a good chance we see a rebound this evening. 29,000 Bitcoin options with national value of $3.5 billion to expire on the largest derivatives crypto exchange, Durabit, on the 19th, which is today. The put call ratio is 1.35. This crypto news indicates traders were massively bearish, placing more puts bets than calls after the latest crypto prices rebound. Moreover, the max pain price was $114,000, lower than the market price of $116,554 at the time of writing. This implies a high chance of a pullback in Bitcoin USD, with traders adjusting their positions amid intense volatility ahead of the triple witching next Friday. However, the 24-hour call volume was higher than the 24-hour put volume. The put-call ratio was 0.77, indicating traders were buying more call options. As per Greeks Live, key options metrics indicate declining implied volatility. The short to medium term, I can't remember that Roman numeral, for Bitcoin, it uses USD, has fallen below 30%. Put options block trades and their transaction shares have risen steadily this month, reflecting risk hedging as a primary. So everyone's bearish, essentially, in that sense, right? The Ethereum options, same thing with XRP. So that's why we're seeing some volatility today, guys. But again, like I said, you saw a little bit of downside. Do not be surprised to see a recovery this evening. It's not guaranteed, but I am anticipating one. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I was going to say, Ramona, you should put the link to the website in the chat. Crucial U.S.-China talks unpacking the potential U.S.-China crypto impact. The global stage is buzzing with news of an upcoming high-stakes meeting. President Trump recently announced his plans to visit China earlier next year, following a reportedly productive phone conversation with Chinese president. And the Chinese president reciprocated, stating his intentions to visit the United States at an appropriate time. While these diplomatic exchanges primarily focus on trade, diplomacy, and international relations, they carry significant weight for financial markets worldwide. Including the often volatile world of digital assets, understanding the potential US-China crypto impact is crucial for investors navigating this evolving landscape. These high-level discussions between the leaders of the world's two largest economies are never just about pleasantries. Sorry. Historically, US-China relations have shaped global trade policies, technological advancements, and even geopolitical stability. The upcoming visit is expected to touch upon a range of critical issues: trade relations, technological competition, and geopolitical stability. Each of these areas holds the power to send ripples through traditional financial markets. Consequently, these ripples often extend to the cryptocurrency market, which react to shifts in investor sentiment and global economic forecasts. Therefore, monitoring these talks closely is essential for anticipating the broader US-China crypto impact. It might seem indirect, but geopolitical events have a tangible effect on cryptocurrency markets. When global uncertainty rises, investors often seek safe havens, sometimes shifting away from riskier assets like stocks and, at times, even cryptocurrencies. Conversely, periods of increased stability and positive diplomatic progress can boost investor confidence, encouraging investments across various asset classes, including digital currencies. The cryptocurrency market, despite its decentralized nature, is not entirely immune to external forces. Major economic announcements, trade agreements, and political tensions can influence liquidity, trading volumes, and overall market sentiment. This interconnectedness means that significant diplomatic events, such as presidential visits to major economic powers, can indeed contribute or detract from crypto market stability. So it's kind of a big deal that he's going there, that Trump's going to China. It's good. They're talking today, I believe, aren't they? It's Friday today. I believe they have a meeting today as well. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, looks kind of bullish, guys. Looks kind of bullish. Let's segue over to Squawk Box. What do we got? Ramona says, what the hell is he talking about? Most altcoins have more utility than Bitcoin. Yeah, Gary never knew what he was talking about. So, market is at an inflection point where leadership could start broadening beyond mega caps. Let's go.
An hour now till the opening bell on Wall Street. Joining us now on the markets, Matt Powers, President, Managing Partner of Powers Advisory Group. You don't think things are cheap either, Matt. You do point out that the big caps and the seven that lead the way, and there's 493 other ones. You think we're overvalued, like David Tepper?
Yeah. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for a happy Friday. Yeah, I mean, valuations are clearly stretched. They're high, they're frothy. It's kind of whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you're entering the market right now, you're paying up. And the S&P is trading at multiples we haven't seen in a long time. I mean, the index has become so top heavy that it's kind of just like a real proxy for just a handful of companies. So I think that's where the risk sits. If one of those names stumble, I mean, we're going to feel it across the index. So here's what's actually healthy. Looking at the positives here, the equal weight S&P has some hints of outperforming the cap weight. We just saw it yesterday in small caps. August rallied 9%. Russell 2000 outperformed the S&P over the past month, and it's I think 7th straight weekly gain, so longest rally in 5 years. Plus, the majority of sectors are still trading below the index multiple. So to me, I think that's just kind of a sign of we're at this inflection point where leadership could start broadening and beyond just the mega caps into small caps and maybe some other rate sensitive type areas.
Been a long time. Been waiting for that for a while. So many people have, small caps been recommending that. It hasn't come to pass. You think this is real this time?
Yeah, just drilling down to small caps, it's kind of interesting. They've been left behind for years. I mean, they got crushed during COVID, but when rates started to ease, when rates do ease, it changes the math. You can say smaller companies, they tend to carry a lot more floating rate debt. So lower borrowing costs, it drops just straight down to their bottom line. So, you're also you're seeing investors look for areas of the market that haven't already been bid up to death, like to extremes like large caps and some of the mega caps have, and small caps are still trading at a discount to large caps. So it makes them attractive as money rotates into new leadership. But just the way I look at it, falling rates kind of create the setup for somewhat of a catch-up trade in small caps. And, if they participate, it's a good thing for the economy. It makes the whole broad-based rally more sustainable just in general. So, just throwing an ETF out there, IJR is the iShares Core S&P small cap ETF. It only holds profitable companies. So, that's one ETF we look at in that area.
Are you like 60% stocks, 40% bonds, 10% cash, or all you care about are trying to pick the right equities?
No, it's asset allocation. I mean, that's key. Obviously, it is for any client we've got. You have to tie back your investments to your overall risk profile. I mean, that's standard advice. Anyone should be telling their clients that.
Are bonds going to go up, or are bonds going to come down? Like,
if I could
let's say 8 years. Yeah.
I mean, good question. If I could predict rates, it'd be a totally different conversation. We're telling clients really you need to extend your duration just a little bit. You capture a little bit of a higher yield and potential for some principal appreciation. I've had this conversation a few times on the network about money market funds too. There's $6 trillion sitting in money market funds, and over $1 trillion come in the past year alone. So, as that rate starts to come down, and this is a conversation, I mean, we have it all the time with clients. It's what do we do? When the rate comes down, where do I shift this risk-free yield I'm getting of over 4%? And, I think, you have to start looking, and that's where the duration comes in. But the other part to that too is there's this talk, and I don't know that there's a definitive answer, that some big flood of cash is going to come into the market from these money market funds. And, it's some of the underappreciated areas of the market, and I'm not so sure that's the case, but if it is, you're looking at basically relative to the S&P, money market funds are at 15%, absolute $6 trillion is a huge number, but historically it's about 20% of the S&P relatively speaking. So, if that makes sense.
Markets look healthy. Real quick, guys, I just wanted to put this out there as well. I only need 2 more followers on my X page to break 3,000, guys. So if you're not following me over on X, make sure you get over there, follow me, guys. I can't believe I got it up to 3,000 already. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it growing, guys. I do exclusive content over on X, by the way, and I will be starting to do spaces over there. So if you're not following me, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff over on X. So do not miss the boat on that. All right, let's continue on here. Another article. Just give me a second here, guys. Okay. Ramona put the website for Pico and LFG into the chat. No, it looks as thank you, Rob, for looking after our community. Everyone's winning together on the Patreon. Absolutely. Ethereum setup $4,250 range low could trigger the next pump. Ethereum's order book data shows strong buy-side interest near $4,250. This cluster of orders, often described as a liquidity wall, can attract price movements as markets seek to fill demand. Traders see this level worth watching if the market pulls back. Analyst Leanert Snyder, we'll call her Miss Snyder. She says, "Let's work in there. Let's work in there and pump Ethereum after," pointing to the potential for price to dip into this level before rebounding. A reaction here could create a base for another push higher. On the daily chart, Ethereum is consolidating in an ascending triangle pattern following its recent rally. The structure shows rising lows pressing against the horizontal resistance line. So Ethereum getting ready to break out, guys. Technical readings also reveal a hidden bullish divergence on Ethereum. Price has been recording higher lows while momentum indicators trace lower lows. The pattern is commonly seen as a sign that underlying strength remains intact. However, clearing $4,900 would add weight to the scenario, opening room for extended gains in momentum if momentum continues. So, big things, guys, for Ethereum. Can we break to the upside? Ethereum, actually, funny story. They say 4,200, a lot of buying pressure there, but Ethereum right now is sitting at, oh, we haven't quite got there. We're at 4,400. Let's go look at Ethereum's chart. Let's go have a looky. Let's go have a looky-loo. So what they're saying is there's a lot of buying interest right around for Ethereum, right around, I will say right in this range, right in that little pocket there. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Right in that little pocket here, there's a lot of buying interest. Let's make it, no, that's ugly. That's ugly. It's fugly. There. Right in that little golden pocket. Okay. So, a lot of buying pressure right there. If Ethereum dips down to that level, guys, we should see a rebound. So, what do we got? What do we got? Paul says, Moonwell to the moon. Absolutely. Sub to you on X now at 3K. Woo, nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting me over 3K. Wise Mind. Hello, Rob. It's almost Ted DiBiase time. Let's go. $1 Million Man. I think in the end, Gensler will get looked at as the worst that the pizza, worse than the pizza guy. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Ceiling Fan, what's going on? Do you think ETH gets to 4,900 before the next big market pullback? No, I think that ETH will correct down to this area, around that $4,200 area, and then it will rebound, and then that will be the correction for altcoins, in my opinion, because I think that we will start to see Bitcoin dominance. Let's go have a look at Bitcoin dominance. I think we'll see, yeah, Bitcoin dominance is, still trying to climb. Today didn't help, though, right, with a little bit of a correction, but we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to come back up here to 60%, and I think that's when Ethereum will make that move, and then it will roll over, and that's when we'll start to see altcoins, right? We'll see Bitcoin dominance move up to here, probably when the inverse head and shoulders pattern plays out, maybe next week, maybe the week after, and then we'll see Bitcoin make its way up to around that $42,000 level, give or take, and altcoins will slowly start to follow Bitcoin's melt upwards after that, right? So that's kind of what I'm watching for Bitcoin and all that. So, yeah. Okay, guys, check this out. Check this out. Ramona gave us the website. We're going to look at that quick before we continue on with the news. We got the website in the house for Pico and LFG, guys. LFG and Pico. Check it out. I just want to give you guys a little looky-loo, little peek. Right? There's backstories. There's all kinds of cool stuff coming. Regular burn events, reduced supply. Every 7 days, tokens from Treasury are sent to Solana burn wallets. Less supply equals more scarcity. More scarcity equals more fire. Let's go. Why Solana? There you go. I mean, I think it's obvious. But yeah, go to the website, guys. Check it out. Get you some Pico and LFG today. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, continuing on. We got another clip over on Squawk Box. Minneapolis Fed President Kashkari, tariffs will likely only have a one-time effect on inflation.
A new essay. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari says he sees 2 more rate cuts coming from the central bank this year. Steve Leisman joins us now with Mr. Kashkari. Hey, Steve, and hey, Neil.
Good morning. Thank you, Joe. Let's bring in Mr. Kashkari, president of the Minneapolis Fed. Neil, let's talk about your essay this morning, which is fascinating. And I just want to ask you first about one of the things that you say in your piece, which is that you're concerned that there could be some erosion of the belief in the Fed's commitment to the 2% target. How much should we worry that you guys are cutting rates while you're away from your target? And not only that, don't forecast you hit your target until 2028.
Well, Steve, I don't see the erosion yet. Thankfully, it's not there in the data, but it's something that we need to work extra hard to explain to the public why we're making the actions that we're making, why we're cutting rates right now in light of the elevated inflation that we've all been experiencing for 4 years. So I identified it in my essay as a risk that what could cause inflation expectations to rise if people believe that our, what we call our reaction function has changed and that we would somehow be okay with 3% inflation. We're not okay with 3% inflation. I'm confident that we are going to get inflation back down to 2%, but these tariffs have pushed inflation back up, and we're having to adjust policy to try to accommodate and keep the labor market strong at the same time.
So, Neil, the old saw is watch what they do, not what they say. What are you doing about bringing inflation back down?
Well, if we look at the underlying components, and I don't get into this as much into my essay, housing services inflation is on a very steady trajectory to come down. I've got a lot of confidence that housing inflation is going to continue to come down. Non-housing services inflation is slowly coming down. It's pretty tied to wage growth, and wages are on a downward trajectory. So I've got pretty good confidence that those two segments are going to continue to come down. The core goods inflation had actually ticked negative at the start of this year. That was very good news. It had been negative before the pandemic. They've now come up because of tariffs. And so it really comes down to, do you believe tariffs are a one-time effect or something more persistent? I'm getting more confident that it's more likely a one-time effect, but it's going to take a couple of years for it to play out.
Another thing you talk about in your essay is the concern that the erosion of Fed independence could lift inflation expectations. I get that concept theoretically, but you don't really see it in the bond market. What's the source of that concern, and why do you think the bond market doesn't seem to care about it?
Well, I talked to a lot of market participants. I talked to folks up on Capitol Hill on both sides of the aisle. I think there's widespread appreciation for how important Fed independence is, both to keeping inflation expectations low and anchored, as also to defending the dollar. Those two things are tightly related. But I also think there's a lot of confidence on both sides of the aisle that Fed independence is important and will be protected, and that the courts also see it that way. You can see the Supreme Court's ruling a couple months ago defending Fed independence. So I think people are betting on the institutions of the country continuing to keep Fed independence, to keep it outside of the short-term political process. And certainly, I think we all want the same.
Neil, couldn't you argue that a cut in rates, a quarter point rate, I mean, if you connect the dots to, okay, you know, money's cheaper, people are going to do more, that's going to cause the economy to heat up. I mean, way down the line, way down the road, maybe it's inflationary. But at face value, why doesn't it make certain things cheaper when interest rates go down? Why couldn't you say it actually might help inflation? And people have started to say that, haven't they, Leisman?
Well, I've heard those arguments, Joe. But if you look at mortgage rates as an example, there's a lot of different things that go into mortgage rates. I wrote in my essay that I think the neutral rate of interest has actually gone up. And if you look at over the past year, the FOMC has cut rates by more than 100 basis points. The long end of the curve has been pretty unresponsive to our short-term policy moves. That tells me it's possible that the neutral rate has gone up. And so it's possible that we cut the short end a little bit over the course of the next 6 months or a year, and it ends up not translating into much movement down on mortgage rates. So I don't think it's one for one that a cut in mortgage rates is going to make things immediately cheaper.
Right. There's other interest rate sensitive factors where it could be. And it's happened again. I mean, it's only 10 basis points, but ever since you cut, the 10-year is actually ticked higher with just barely with the yield. But no one, and including, I don't think on the Fed, is anyone complaining about 4.1 on the 10-year after all the worries about, you know, our status in the world and the reserve status? I mean, I would sign on for 4.13. Things are going great in the bond. Things are quiet. The vigilantes are, you know, they're not making a peep with 38 trillion in debt.
Well, yeah, I do write about that in the essay, what the disconnect is from the signals that we're getting from the labor market, which is showing a slowdown, wage growth, payroll employment, for example. All of those are pointing in one direction, and yet financial markets seem quite exuberant, whether it's the stock market or the bond market. Credit spreads are very low. Meme stocks are back. Those are more signals that tell me, hey, wait a second, maybe policy is not all that tight. Nonetheless, I do take seriously half of our dual mandate that the labor market is showing signs of weakening. And so I wrote in my piece that I thought it was appropriate to cut, but I'm not sure how many more cuts we have to get to before we get back to something that looks like neutral.
Neil, I have an almost personal question, being in the room, if you will. And I think everyone's always curious about independence and politics. And I know you've said repeatedly that politics don't enter these conversations. But with Steve Moran in the room, given his role at the White House and in this temporary role now, and being the outlier also in the room in terms of what he wanted to do with interest rates, did politics enter that conversation?
It really didn't. The FOMC has 19 participants, and every year there's always some turnover with presidents retiring or governors retiring and new people coming in. And this was like any other transition where somebody comes in and everybody says, hey, welcome to the table. We look forward to hearing your contributions. And then everybody went about their business as normal. And so what was remarkable about this meeting is how unremarkable it was. And then obviously the chairman achieved a tremendous consensus, not perfect consensus, but tremendous consensus at the end of the day, which I think is a credit to him.
Very nice, very nice. Yes. Bitcoin is continuing to work its way down. Let's go have a look at that again. Leo, Pico around the world. Let's go. There you go. There you go. All right, so yes, Bitcoin sitting on support right now, guys. Not bad, not bad. I wouldn't be surprised. It would, like I said before, it would actually be healthy for us to come down to 114, as it would kind of help structure the final shoulder on the inverse head and shoulders and have it play out perfectly. So that's what we're going to be paying attention to, guys. Listen, I got some coaching calls I got to get to over on the Patreon right now. I got some more content I got to make, so I will be over there. If you want to reach me, I got about 35 DMs I got to go through. I'm sure half of them are people complaining about something. So I got to burn through those and so much more, guys. So get over there, join the trading group. I will be dropping another trading video for you guys in the trading tier today as well. And I will be working on the next clip, adding to our course for how to do proper research and find microcap gems as well. So check all that out and more, guys. The link is down below in the chat. It's in the description. It's in the pinned comments. I'll see you guys over on the Patreon. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.